on site. It's cold, very cold, and I thought I'd show you something. What's that hole? Well, that hole will be where we put a flood vent in here. What is a flood vent and why do we have it? Well, this building is technically in a flood zone, and because of that, we've got to mitigate the pressure of water coming potentially across this site. So every space we like to do two, one so that water can get in, one so water can get out, essentially creating equal pressure on the whole system so you don't have more pressure on one side than the other. Oh man, it is brisk out there. So, basics. As I was saying, if this site should hit its 1% annual chance of rain, or flooding, I should say, or what, sort of colloquially we call the 100-year storm, the water will reach a foot below the first floor of the building. So we had to raise the first floor to be above that level, but we still have parking and stairs that go below that. So we had to create a way for water to come through the building. If you followed me for a while, you've seen this before, or I've talked about it before. Water is really strong. It has a lot of force to it. And if you don't allow the water to kind of come through and equalize the pressure on both sides of a wall, what you end up having is water pushing on one side and pushing it out. But by putting a flood vent in, that allows the water to come through and equalize the pressure on both sides. Just imagine that you're standing up, right? I have a 4-year-old now, and she likes to come up and just like push up against me, right? It might not be much as a 4-year-old, but she could push, and sometimes catches you off guard, might take a step. But now imagine you have a 4-year-old on both sides of you, and they're pushing in opposite directions, or essentially equalizing the pressure. You're not really going to go anywhere. So in this case, that's what we're doing. We're allowing the water to come through so we can equalize that pressure on both sides of the wall. Thus essentially making it stronger. So by letting the water in, it's actually stronger. And more importantly, if water comes in, we're giving it a way out. Yeah. Small engineering things. And the cool thing, so flood vents, there are a couple companies that make them. The ones that are local to us, Coastal Flood Vent and Smart Vent. We're using Smart Vent. They make their flood vents the size of one concrete masonry unit, which makes it really easy to both install and design around. We take out one block in the forming and we put in a flood vent. Because of the size of this building for the parking area, we're using their multi-mold system, so it's essentially like 6 flood vents all tied together for the bulk of the parking, and then we have to put some sort of beam over it, but that allows us to get a lot more coverage for a lot less openings. So when we originally did this and we were looking at the single block ones, we had 125 flood vents for the whole building. Now we've got like 30 something. They're larger openings, but a lot less of them. I hope you found that informative.